that vision lead. Don't forget, in match number 1, Impunity with that deep ward showed where Camille is. Immediately, Wild Ball went into that vertical jungling, and that's just extremely vital for Impunity to hit those vital points of Alliance.
I just also want to point out that there is a lot of trigger pulling options for Impunity here, and by that I mean do anything. I believe we are about to WildRift. And let's get into this second game. Alliance up against Impunity Esports. They got everything in their hands for Impunity and Alliance. I mean, it's a double elimination game, but they still have much to prove for, and that they are one of the best team, if not the best team here in Singapore. So all is on the board here. Everything's at stake. In Cote d'Ivoire and CWJ are already doing the cha-cha in the the Nashor lane.
Baron lane, of course, Impunity, once again, you can see the deep ward. Impunity just always do that kind of deep ward, just providing so much vision, so much information over. Again, it could be a replay of match number 1 in terms of the jungle pathing for Alliance, whereas Impunity will start it on the red side of Impunity. Red buff side of Impunity. But you know, you gotta when you see Alliance top matchup, right? You gotta see Malphite as a range matchup, mind you, because of the shots. But it is CWJ who's actually constantly getting punished by Cote d'Ivoire because of that vital points. That vital point is just so annoying. And don't forget, once Cote d'Ivoire hit level 2, that slow will turn that slow against Cote d'Ivoire will become a stun against CWJ.
Shinsekai, he wastes no time. If you can see the map right now, he wants to challenge Wild Boar at the start. Red buff for red buff. He does have the shield as well, and Rich is here to provide the support. Wild Boar is still able to get away, but here comes the entirety of the Impunity roster. The knock of the... Oh my goodness, he had to flash away from that because it's just too much to deal with. The horns of the Atlas Star almost impaling, but Impunity are able to fend off their invaders. That's going to be good for them. They do have a ward to spot out the recall here for Wild Boar, but you can already see Alliance is not afraid. That game number 1 did not shake them, and Shinsekai is here to be aggressive.
Yeah, flash burn away for Shinsekai as well. At the same time, Impunity and Alliance, their Baron laners already burned off both of their summoners for both sides. A bit of a dueling happening, a bit of a two-side action happening for these two teams, while Alliance is actually skirmishing into Impunity. They took away, but okay, Cryo looking a bit low. Squirrel is just gonna take bombs after bombs against Cryo, but unfortunately won't be able to seal the deal. Alliance, Raven and Rich just pushing up super far ahead. There's something that I don't really like, you know, but Raven, the Gatling gun coming in, the barrier as well. Scarlet Petal forced to flash away out of very slow little help, but that's really what I said, you know, Alliance, Raven and Rich, they're really pushing so hard at the bottom side, not giving Shinsekai any form of opportunity to gank. And Shinsekai, remember we talked about it before we entered this game, they really got to look for that top gank, but damage coming in from a CWJ Cote d'Ivoire, both of them. A lot of close call for these two parts, and you can feel, Asura, you can feel the pressure going in to Alliance's head. They're not taking any chances at all, flashing even at the slightest movement of Impunity.
That was a mistake from Cote d'Ivoire. He should have won that 1v1. He dashed towards the creep rather than hit the last tick of his grand challenge. That could have been heal for Cote d'Ivoire, and he could have chased CWJ to the ends of the earth there, or rather, more specifically, to the turret, and actually gotten the kill. But maybe he fat-fingered or something. He basically misclicked something, and it didn't go to his side. That could have been first blood in a big lead start for Impunity. Now that we are gearing up towards level 5s where the ultimates are ready, Impunity are starting to be able to deal with Rich as well as Raven. But you did see, while they still only were around level 3, level 2, they utilized this double range against one range, one melee in the duo, and they're really making sure that Scarlet Petal cannot get these last hits on those minions. But still, in the end, he's able to at least keep it together with 2,800 gold to his name.
Yeah, Impunity, both sides looking very equal in terms of that gold lead. Impunity, they do have that dragon priority. Camille still in the it's still at the dragon's pit as well, but then Impunity decides to back off. And if you notice, when the item was being pushed out, GA Shinsekai is actually being working towards that GA as the first item, whereas Wukong will be building towards, I believe that is an Umbro Glaive first, with the Coldfield Hammer going in for the first time. But then again, don't forget, Wild Boar is already level 5, so Impunity Alliance has to be careful with those kind of engage, because all Impunity can do is just jump in, Cyclone, Rav will be jumping on top of it, Mega Inferno Bomb. The Valkyrie will be used to engage as both teams decide not to care for that Drake, leaving it on the First Blood, going over the side to Alliance, but it is Rich that forces the disengage, and now CWJ is a little bit too far back into the backside of Impunity, will get picked off. Alliance taking 2 losses for the price of 1.
Wow, did you? That was quick. Nobody is able to secure the dragon here. Alliance, they knew that there was a form of, I wouldn't say like damage increase or power spike for Raven, but he was a sheen above Scarlet, where Scarlet was only having, I think, a Vampiric Scepter and a attack speed dagger, which doesn't really help him as an ADC. But you saw how quick Impunity was to start that fight. They got a real amount of knockup with Wrath going in, and then everybody else from Alliance just bypassed and went to the backside of Impunity. But like I said, Impunity, they don't have to use all of their ultimates altogether. They can always have that threat, and they saved up. And even though Alliance almost got the pierce through, Impunity waited, they used their utilities well, and still survive in the end. But I do like the Moxie here for Alliance. They're still going to try to challenge here with Shinsekai in the front line. Already has a GA, and he'll just be diving right in. Both junglers should have their smite up, so it's a battle of who can be the faster smiter.
Yeah, bomb going into the side of Ridge, but it is the red team that actually secures the shockwave going in by the side of Cryo. Will be able to pull the Impunity side of the back, but at the same time, Quite a Boy is just messing up the backline of Alliance so hard. At the same time, Impunity, while the front line is getting a bit wiped out by the three Musketeers coming out from Alliance, they turn around and they look for Quite a Boy. Swirl try to push some peel by the side time. CWJ just chasing down. I don't think Swirl will be able to get out of there unless there's a satchel card going. But whoa, super low as CWJ activates that barrier at the nick of time. We'll be able to, take down Swirl for that period of time. But CWJ, I think he overstands that he's not supposed to be there. A bit of misplay coming out from the side of CWJ in my opinion. And Impunity, well, no, not even this as well. You don't look at the shot, but luckily Raven is there. We'll be able to pick off Scarlet Petal at the same time for Impunity.
Too much saltiness, too much overextension there for Impunity. They already got the 1 kill. He saw that there was the possibility of getting the Camille, but again, Scarlet not having the damage to follow through. He should have respected that Camille can still get away. She has a physical damage shield that can absorb a bit more and delay for his teammates, and Raven was so near. The timing was just perfect for Alliance there, and Alliance got everything in the bag except for the Dragon, but still in the end, they do have the threats. The Corki is starting to ramp up, and with all of that in mind, they rotated everybody here to the Nashor, to the Baron lane, and get themselves that Rift Herald, which is a big momentum shifter for Alliance.
Yeah, remember Alliance was actually behind in terms of the gold lead for Impunity. With that Rift Herald in the back of Alliance, they can plonk it down perhaps on the top side to push that turret down and can see Impunity. They're just holding on. They're just in the brush right outside Alliance vision, just laying the wait, just hoping to strike. But then again, Alliance, they can just plonk down their Rift Herald to secure that, first third gold. That is going to be potential. Rav going to kick it off. But then again, the chains will be coming out. Wildbar jumping in. The Hex Ultimatum will be able to lock down Scarlet Petal. Scarlet Petal tries to run, but a bit of a miscalculated coming out from Alliance as well. They actually had him back. Rich forced to use the Monsoon. Rav jumping back in. The bomb coming in from a mile away will be forcing the disengage coming out from Alliance. Thank God to Impunity. Thank God to Swirl with that big bomb coming on in. But at the same time, Quite a Boy, there's just fights happening all over the place as CWJ going on a 1v1. There you go. We'll be able to take down Quite a Boy at the same time. Not only that, we'll be able to pressure that turret. Both sides, in fact, on the Baron lane as well. Alliance also pressuring. A 2-prong attack coming up from Alliance. They're not giving up.
Not giving up, and they're not ending this fight just yet. Wild Boar, he can chase CWJ all day long if he wanted to, but CWJ is a rock. Basically, right now, he's incredibly tanky, and I think Wild Boar, you try to charge as a beast, as a wild pig, it's not going to work in the end. You're going up against the mountain. CWJ, what's the items that he has in mind? Oh my goodness, breastplate as well as Sunfire Cape. That's just so much retaliated damage. You can't really pierce through all of that. And Quart d'Ivoire, he got a nice little taste that Sunfire Cape is just too much for him to handle. And this is the point where Alliance needs to stick on and keep the pressure rolling, because they have every single lane, every role that they have right now in advantageous state. So Alliance can't keep up can't stop the pressure.
You know, it's a game of paper, scissors, stones, right? Who beats stone? Not a monkey. Not a monkey. You need a pair of scissors. And even Quart d'Ivoire, with that sword, well, a bit of like a scissor, mind you, but is unable to penetrate the damage, or in fact, the armor coming in from the side of CWJ. You can see Impunity setting up for that top push once again, but it is Alliance setting up for that bottom push. It just needs a bit of love tap for the bottom side, and that also goes to show that Alliance will have that Ocean Drake for once. Alliance may secure their very first Drake of this series.
Scorecard is fantastic for Alliance.
Yeah, man.
And honestly, they don't have to fear the Baron take of Impunity. Impunity just does not have the damage to quickly take away at the Baron, especially when Scarlet Petal is struggling. They definitely need to see the items right now, because 10 minutes and 30 seconds into that timer, there is going to be a lot of difference. Corky's already building up into his Infinity Edge and Trinity Force, while Scarlet Petal isn't even halfway done with his second item. I think it's going to be going for a Rudan's Hurricane or something. But that Blade of the Ruined King, I mean, if you look at it, there's more beefy hits from the Corki that will come out, and then Scarlet Petal is just going to rely on him surviving the longest in the fight and then trying to shred everybody down. But the thing about that, though, is it seems like Impunity cannot stop them as of the moment. He needs probably a bit more time, maybe 3 to 5 more minutes to get one more item out. But Alliance got everything in the bag as of the moment. They can't really lose this game right now, and they have everything just working in their favor.
Yeah, 4K gold lead, that could easily climb back as long as Alliance take one bad fight, even though, you know, we're hyping it up that, in fact, Alliance actually has this game in the bag. But it could turn around, you see, because Blade of the Ruined King is good to strat against CWJ. CWJ, once he goes down, there's not much tank, there's not really much beefiness coming in from the side of Alliance as well. Rift Herald will be plunked at the mid side. I kind of don't like that Rift Herald, in my opinion, because you could potentially hold it for the next Drake coming in, but maybe perhaps the expiry date of Shelly coming in, they've got to use, you know, it's like those milk that you kept in the fridge too long and you see the expiry date. Hey, Gotta finish it very quickly, and then decided blocking down in the mid lane instead. But Alliance can afford to do all this kind of stuff because they're quite ahead in this time round. And once again, a bit of a fight coming in. SSK diving in. Swirl will get GA, the Satchel Charge will be able to allow SSK to take one hit, but thank God for the GA will be able to keep himself alive. Rich coming in for the side just to actually peel a little bit, but Raven is super low as well as Rich becomes the portable fountain as Alliance siege onto the mid lane turret.
It's kind of the bad thing here is you don't really see Impunity as a full 5 going into these fights. You can see Wild Boar just going by himself, maybe helping out Swirl, but in the end, you don't have Scarlet Petal. He's always just walking up. Man, if he looks at his smartwatch, he'd probably be looking at like 5,000 steps already because of how exercise heavy he is. But what I mean by that is Impunity hasn't really grouped up as an entire team, and they definitely need that because everybody else lacks damage, so they need to be able to support each other in these team fights, and it's just not working out. Alliance, they actually merit to do something of a split, like a 3 versus 3 mini skirmishes, because they have the numbers. They have, sorry, not numbers, but the item advantage to support it. In any case, though, Alliance, they're looking incredibly threatening now with about a 8,000 gold lead, and they're just not stopping at all. They're taking everything that they can, and Impunity are just relegated to play around their map. It's gonna be very difficult here, but they have to make it work.
Yeah, Raven has the package. He could potentially look in for a very long range, you know, ultimate. SSK jumping in will be able to secure. They take the turret and they get out. like James Bond, go in, go out like a glove, going in. But like I said, Alliance, they can hold on to the package because the Drake will be spawning very, very soon. It's a Cloud Drake, be it not the best Drake, but it could potentially give Alliance better roaming. Just rotate and just dissect Impunity apart one by one. But it still boils down to what you said, Asurai. They're not picking up that group fights, right? They're not grouping up because they are afraid of CWJ. He is a rock, and the rock goes boom. Unstoppable forwards going in, knock up every single member of your team. That's something that Impunity doesn't want. So that's why you always have, someone off the map trying to look for some pickoffs, trying to look for the flank. So maybe that's why a bit of miscom happening for the side of Impunity, and hopefully they can look at that Drake right now, or probably force that mid lane of Alliance to be open.
It's going to be very difficult to try to make that happen. Now, Wrath just really had to go get some controlled pressure here, but putting Scarlet Petal in such a precarious situation, he's not going to be able to make this work out, but maybe, just maybe, the Monsoon, though, will be allowing Alliance to just be topped off, but Scarlet Petal is in no man's land, and activating the stasis will just put him in the sights of Alliance. The only one to remain really is going to be WildBoar in that team fight. Court d'Ivoire is going to be split pushing to his heart's content, but at the end of the day, they needed that team fight to themselves. They needed Court d'Ivoire because even if he split pushes, he's not going to be able to get into that inhibitor turret in time, and Baron is an easy take for Alliance because there's no big team fight to come out from Impunity. WildBoar is going to be so late to the party. He's not going to have a chance to smite steal that. And Court d'Ivoire, he's being chased down hard by CWJ, who I believe should have his ultimate in just a few, or maybe he's already used it. In any case, Court d'Ivoire's split push only netted him that tier 1 turret.
You can see how Impunity is just giving a respectful distance between themselves and CWJ. And you can see CWJ is just carrying the team so hard from the side of Alliance, and this allows, Raven to just pop off, and then Alliance immediately, they can rotate over to that Cloud Drake. Impunity, yes, they took the Mountain Drake, they've got more shields, but it is Alliance that took the second Drake now, and it is going to be an Infernal Elder Drake going in for the next Drake. With Alliance picking out Baron buff, they've got more pushing power. You can see how Court d'Ivoire is just trying very hard to hopefully do a bit of a backdoor, just to hope that, Alliance try to just make Alliance hesitate just a little bit, just creating some pressure on the top side. But Impunity, they are the ones who's getting siege. So with Impunity and Court d'Ivoire, just keep putting that timer over there. At the same time, a bit of teamfight happening at the bottom side.
We should be looking at Alliance just finishing off this game. Impunity are on their final legs, final stretches, and look at that initiation. A beautiful shockwave to follow through from Cryo, and he has had his revenge. It was him that was eating up the shockwaves in the previous game, and now in this second one, Alliance are looking much, much better, and they're going to be forcing this into a game 3 here, Jays, as Alliance is just that dominant.
Oof, you can wait, hold on a second. CWJ was alive. He was the one.
Yeah.
He was the one like so deep in enemy lines. He took
that game, and honestly, there were so many, how do you say this? There were so many fights that Impunity went in one by one, and they forced the split push too much when they